episode 59 of the Improv Gaming Gamescast here on youtube.com/improvgaming.
Louder.
What's wrong with you?
You didn't like that?
No.
Try it again?
No.
No?
We're stuck with this now.
You fucked up the intro. Can't take you anywhere.
What's up, guys? This is episode 59 here on youtube.com/improvgaming, the best podcast in the world. Maybe, possibly.
Definitely the best podcast.
Definitely the best.
It's not a podcast, though.
Gamecast.
There we go. That's better.
We are on a podcast.
We are on a podcast.
Over on blogtalkradio.com/fillinthevoidrn, where we have live shows every Sunday for you YouTube people and you podcast people who like to listen to the radio. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We go over the news. We go over what's coming out for the week. And then we just talk to random people who call in. Sometimes we know them, sometimes we don't.
I like that surprise from last week. I'm still like rolling over that surprise.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, but you'll join us yesterday.
And thank you for who called in yesterday for Nick's other surprise.
You son of a bitch.
I'm just keep doing this.
I feel like there is no surprise this time. Like I'm gonna be waiting the entire episode for a surprise and it's not gonna come.
There's no surprise? Or is there?
I don't know. You let us know in the comments below because you'll see this after our live show.
They will.
Do you feel lucky?
No. I don't feel lucky.
To my right, he only has the best ponytail in the business.
It's fabulous.
Mr. Nicholas.
How's it going tonight, everybody?
And to my left, I've missed him. He's like a baby hand holding an apple.
It could be.
Don't know where I was going with that.
I think you wanted to say the biggest
With
Zelda
a tear in my eye. He's only the biggest Zelda fan in the world. Don't believe me, he has a tattoo of the Triforce on his right arm. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. Jeremy Bird.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Biggest Zelda fan in the world, coming at you once again.
I think you put it too high.
I don't know what you're doing. Stop screaming.
I'm not screaming. I wonder how loud the fucking...
I have no idea.
So what I'm wondering this week...
What are you wondering this week?
Not so much for you, but we'll divvy on your answer.
Hate you too.
What is your dream tattoo?
Not
Okay.
so much me, fuck you.
Well, you have like 57.
So my tattoo that I've actually been contemplating for quite some time, it's one of two things. But the one I really want to get is...
Kojima on my butt.
Yes, it's Kojima's new logo on my ass. Yes, that's exact. No, the one that I really want to get is... You remember Scar from Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah.
Yo, did not know where I was totally wrong there.
I mean, you were kind of right. It is a cartoon, so yeah. but Full Metal Alchemist, okay. Right? Scar in Brotherhood.
Yeah.
They go into the backstory of Scar and how he inherited, spoiler alert, he inherited his arm from his brother. But that's one of the arms. And the arm that he inherited was destruction. I want to get reconstitution.
Nice.
The one for reconstitution. So I want to find the actual tattoo he had. And on my left arm, I want to put the reconstitution tattoo.
Nice.
That was the one. But I want to get a good artist, like a really good artist to get it so that then it looks like it's actually activating. So it looks like the electricity is coming off of it and like it has that three-dimensional kind of appeal to it. So I want to get something like that. That's
one. What's the other one?
The other one is now that one I wanted to get, and the reason I wanted to get that one was because I wanted to get on my arms. You know how people have writings on their arms? Yeah. I wanted to get something like that, but I didn't know what to write. So I was like, well, why not just get the fucking Full Metal, and that will symbolize the fucking what I want it to be. So.
I'm between two things also.
I know one of them.
One is very near to my heart, which I'm trying to figure out how I want to do.
The Master Sword in your pants?
Damn right. Both. Everybody knows I love swords who watch this show. You can also watch the Uncharted Spoilcast for more of that. But spoilers. So I wanted to get...
Just in case you didn't know from the word spoilcast.
Yeah, exactly. I want to get a sword.
Okay.
With a dragon going around it.
Okay.
Because those are two things I love. I love the fantasy and everything like that.
What kind of dragon? Like an Asian dragon or a medieval dragon?
Probably medieval.
Okay.
I've always loved the medieval style. You know, I'm not sure the sword, but in the blade is going to be the birth and death of my grandma.
Okay.
Very important to me. So
Like most people like do it like with the hilt, but you want it along like the blade itself.
yeah,
Nice.
something like that.
That's
you know,
nice.
and then do something like that. My other one is and ego. Actually, what I really want to do, which is not fucking possible unless I get it on my back, is one of my favorite quotes, and you know this one.
Yep.
Of all time from Mr. Paul Heyman.
Okay.
It's about success and failure, and I have it somewhat memorized, so I'll give you a little sneak peek. It's you cannot achieve success with the fear of failure. No, you cannot achieve success without the risk of failure. And I learned a long time ago, you cannot achieve success if you fear failure. If you're not afraid to fail, man, you have a chance to succeed. But you'll never know unless you risk it all the way.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a session.
More. But it's a very lengthy one, so
Gotcha.
I might just shorten it to put best in the world on my arm. And what about you, sir?
There's three I really want to do. One is that on the back sides of my arm, have you seen Cowboy Bebop, right?
Yes.
I want to do Spike and Vicious.
Nice.
Just have them looking at each other. Everybody makes fun of me, like, oh, stupid. Like, they look at each other, and then if I ever get into a fight, you get to fight both. Nah. Now, I've always wanted to do that, just be like something cool like that. The other one is I want to put the Ghostbusters logo right there, but like it looked like it's stamped into my arm.
Okay.
Like, you like branded me, but it's in full color. That, or I want to do Majora's Mask up here. This is an option. It's Majora's Mask, the Hylian shield from Ocarina of Time, because I like how that shield looks and everything. Or I want to put the new IPG logo right there.
Ooh.
'Cause it looks, I like that.
That would suck if we changed it the day after he got the logo.
I wouldn't care, but hey,
We are closing our doors for the last time.
that's literally what I wanted. I looked at that logo. I'm like, I really like that because I've shown a lot of people that logo, like from working on the channel at work, and they're like, "Huh, I see the Rebel Alliance. I see like a really cool controller." Someone said they saw Batman with like how it curves up.
Yeah,
I'm like, All I would do is I would take the I would just do the circle versus like the red corners.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I would get also names of all my exes and just cross them out. And next to it put devil.
I think
devil.
that would take up more space in the quote.
Yeah, probably. If you didn't know, this is the greatest video games gamecast in all of Albion, all of Mushroom Kingdom, and all the past, present, and somewhat future, possibly future, reboot future of the Assassin's Creed series.
Reboot future.
You never know, they could reboot the whole franchise. We are three friends that talk about video games every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We also bring you Let's Plays / Spoilcasts / whatever the fuck I decide to put up on that day. Or Mr. Jeremy. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we also bring you To a Console Near You. Are you lowering the volume so we don't sound like
Yeah.
massive motherfuckers?
I'm adjusting it slightly.
That's
Sorry,
better.
people.
Sorry about that.
We also have a live show every Sunday here on youtube.com/improvgaming. Also on blogtalkradio.com/fillinthevoidrn, where you can always call in, talk to us. We talk about the new releases and some great news that came out of the week. And if something seems good, we make it topic of the show. And from 8 days ago, it was Battleborn versus Overwatch.
Yes.
Yesterday will be decided
Yes.
Sunday. Yesterday.
Yesterday will be decided tomorrow.
I don't know if you know. I don't know if you guys know this. We record before the live show on Sunday.
Back to the future.
Back to. But if that all sounds great to you, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like the video. If you love us really that much, you can go over to patreon.com/improvgaming. Throw us a couple bucks. You get some nice little perks in.
In what?
Patreon.
In Patreon? In the form of Wonder Twin Powers Activate?
Form of a giant bucket. Just go to patreon.com/improvgaming. And now, on to the show. I'm very excited about this week.
That is not how we do this.
What do you mean this is not how we do this?
Now on to the topic at hand.
Topic at hand.
What did I say?
On to the show.
Oh.
Buddy.
On to the topic.
Wow, Pete's getting ganged up early today.
Yeah, I know. We are what we want.
Well, what?
I wrote it down here too. I'm so mad at myself. What we want. Basically, throughout the week, we're going to say what we want. via Resident Evil 7 today. Wednesday will be Nintendo characters, and you will be ending with Mr. Rockstar.
Rockstar.
Not
Party
the drink.
like a rock star. Party
I
like a
haven't heard
rock
that one in a
star.
while.
So,
Party like a rock.
without further ado, let's talk about Resident Evil 7.
Let's talk about Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7.
It's going to be shown at E3.
So,
They said it was
is
going to
it
be
going
shown
to be
as
showcased or just shown?
very interesting with the wording, but I think it's
Yeah.
just going to be a teaser.
I think that's
but
all we're
I would
getting.
not be surprised if it comes out this year. Now, let me explain why.
Okay.
Resident Evil doing a lot so far. HDing some classic Resident Evil 1, 2, you know, making some Resident Evil 6 coming out, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 4, you know, all these stuff coming out. I would not be surprised if Resident Evil 7 came out this year with all the big pushes they're making with Resident Evil this year. With everything coming out.
Yeah, but they've got a lot on their plate, don't they? I mean, because the last one is supposed to be at the end of the year.
No.
Resident Evil 4 is supposed to be at the end of the year, like November or something
Yeah.
like that.
I think.
It's supposed to be, in fall. I think Resident Evil 6 is out. 5 is summer. And then I think, I'm thinking August, September is going to be 4.
I thought it was supposed to be later.
So I think it's going to be
November.
No,
I thought it
would
was supposed
not.
to be around November. That's what I thought, or October.
No, maybe October because of Halloween makes more sense.
Yeah.
But besides us seeing it, teaser, gameplay, whatever you want to say, what do we want from this Resident Evil 7?
I want to go back to the horror roots.
Continue.
Only
Because I
because-
agree. I want to see what you have to say.
Okay, because I love Resident Evil 1 through 4. 4, in my opinion, is one of the best. I do
My
like
favorite
Nemesis a little bit more.
I've never played.
It's fine. You get to kill him like 40,000 times, and the final kill is just so satisfying. Anyway, 5 came out, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, when did we become like
An action game.
Call of Duty with like zombies?
Yeah.
Which I was very disappointed. 6 I thought was decent, but it didn't hold up the standards. It was kind of scary, but not that scary. Now 7, I just want to see them literally just bring back Dark Mansion, this big convoluted plot, and just have.
But do you
shit
think
go
a
down.
mansion's too small now?
No, I
Depends
don't.
on how big the mansion is. I mean, Bill Gates' mansion would be big enough. I mean, that's probably a big enough mansion.
I'm not okay. I know the big thing right now is to make everything open world. I don't want to see Resident Evil go open.
I'm not saying open world, but I would like something like a university. Something where you can move
Like
around.
a campus, like you have
Like
to go
a campus,
outside.
yep.
and
You can't
go
do it. You can't
indoors.
do a copy. You can't do a shopping mall because that's cliche.
Yeah, but like say something like, oh, you have to go to the history wing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
The
I could do
viruses
something like that.
you know, and just have it travel where you have that open world sense, but you also have that scarcity.
To what Jeremy was just saying, where you can't go to a shopping mall because it's cliche. I think that they could, if they're going back to their horror roots. I think that in order to pay homage to their roots of
proper
horror,
way to say that
whatever,
sentence.
to the roots would be like to take a book directly out of George A. Romero's.
So
You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like,
saying take Resident Evil, merge it with Dawn of the Dead.
with like a Dawn of the Dead kind of esque thing.
That's still my favorite
You know,
movie.
like it would. I think it would be a nice little like throwback to like, hey, we remember what the past zombies were like. We're bringing those back to you, plus our added little spin on zombies that you know and love from Resident Evil.
can-
Not the worms coming out of people's necks, but zombies.
I can get behind that, but if say you were gonna do the shopping mall, like make it huge, make it
Oh,
like
yeah.
Mall of
Like
America
Mall
style.
of America,
But if
yeah.
you really want to make things creepy, just say here's the game starts. You walk in, it's like a outbreak or something. You send in the Raccoon City police or whatever, whoever's gonna save the day. You take 10 steps in, and then the power goes out, and you see the gates slam behind you.
Yeah,
I would just
mean,
like to say the power's out, you can't see anything, and just that's the type of zombie horror experience I like. It's dark, you don't see what's going on, and literally you hear sounds all over the place. I would love to see something like that. Really
yeah, I would
scare
like
the
to
shit
see
out of
something
me.
like PT with zombies.
Yes.
You know, like something like that, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be trippy like PT was, but it can be horror and suspense like PT was. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm looking in a mirror and I see an apparition behind me, because we're not dealing with ghosts. Again, we're dealing with zombies. But looking in a mirror and a fucking zombie busts through the back of the fucking bathroom,
That would be awesome.
might fucking be nice. You know, like little things like that. Not trippy, but something that's horrorful and suspenseful
like-
and done well. Like, I think they would really have to go into what makes current things more scary, like your Insidious. What makes that scary? What makes
Conjuring.
Conjuring scary, like things like that.
Plus, I do want to see the second movie.
To get a better idea of how to really portray a zombie movie in that style, because it's very difficult to take zombies and turn them into a metaphysical thing like The Conjuring or like Insidious or like the Babadook. And
Babadook is creepy.
Yeah. So, but it would be interesting to see them pull something like that off.
What I would like, on top of that, we want to go back to survival horror. That's what we want.
Yep. Keep talking.
Okay, so we're going to keep talking. He's this guy's gonna be like off camera. What am I calling a live set? Which they are. Anyway, okay. I want scarce ammo. I don't want 50 zombies coming at me. I want that feeling. Did you ever play Resident Evil 4?
No, I did not.
Okay, let me explain, and people who played knows exactly what I'm talking about. Is that there's a chainsaw man in the village in the very beginning, which you cannot kill in the very beginning unless you just find all this ammo, which doesn't exist. But basically, him just bringing the chainsaw and you just hear, not knowing, trying to hide from him, feeling that tension. I'd rather have that tension and be like, okay, I'm
Sorry,
going.
I want my credit card on the show.
No worries. I don't want. Now I fucking had to bring for. I want that suspensefulness. I don't care in Resident Evil 6 when 50 zombies came at me and I just took a turret and went and everybody was down. I want that. Like I was saying, in Resident Evil 4, the Scarecrow's chainsaw guy.
Yes.
Who was just in the beginning, that was tension, and you couldn't shoot him.
Right at first, you're like, shit.
Yeah, and then you're like, do I save the ammo? Do I run? And it's that more like type, oh, what am I going to do? I also would bring it into like an Until Dawn. Everybody knows I played Until Dawn last year. But I like that scare factor and just how it was. And if Resident Evil can do that with the gameplay and have the gameplay of Resident Evil 4, but that immersiveness where,
I'll take the gameplay as long as you can strafe. I'm sorry, I'm the only player in the world who can't play Resident Evil 4 good because I can't sit there and shoot stuff. I actually have to move around because, like, I just hate how, like, when you're setting up and you can't move. What?
A woman yelling.
It's like a woman yelling downstairs.
It's just like literally just when you're like when you have to aim and then you can't move. I've never been able to adapt to that. I prefer playing games where you can move around.
See, but Resident Evil was always that kind of a game where you had to aim instead of move. Like you had to choose.
I was fine when it was like the not the third person, but like the overhead view in 1, 2, and 3. But then when in 4, when you had the over the shoulder, that's where I was having issues.
Gotcha. Yeah, the overhead view seemed like it was a lot better, but the camera angles were fucking terrible.
Well, it was PlayStation 1 and 2,
yeah.
but
I don't want Leon Kennedy.
I like Leon.
I don't want Chris.
Who do you want? You want Claire?
No, I don't want anybody.
You want somebody new?
Maybe Wesker.
Well, Wesker, obviously. Wesker has to be in it, right? Because he's the driving factor of every Resident Evil game.
So, Wesker, but somebody completely new, just total from the ground up. This is Resident Evil. This is what you wanted.
I think that they should do something like that, right? They should do something where this is a completely new character, you don't know their backstory, and they've just been thrown into the shit, and now they have to deal with it.
I bring up the thing, Dead Space. You ever play the original Dead Space? Isaac Clarke was an engineer, and he makeshifted the guns to make it work. But he was an engineer, and that was one of the scariest games you could play until later. Obviously, 2 and 3 got a little bit more.
Like if there was a fucking mechanic working in a garage, and then he gets out from under his car, and all of a sudden there's fucking zombies everywhere. Like, that would be like, okay, now I'm interested again. How is this guy going to deal with this? Like, the part of Resident Evil that made it interesting was, like, everything was so new to everybody, right? So we never experienced, we never had the feeling of, like, oh, Claire or Leon are out of their element because these guys are fucking SWAT team members. So, it's like, okay, they can probably take care of themselves. I'm not afraid because the character's afraid. I'm afraid because this is a new experience for me. Now, what I think Resident Evil 7 has to do is we're used to this. So now give us a character that we want to survive. Like fucking, what's the movie? Well, The Last of Us. Joel and Ellie, right? Thrown into the shit. They're used to their contemporary life behind the wall. They don't have to go out and deal with the infected. But now they have to travel across country through infected territory in order to get Ellie to where she needs to be. Thrown into the shit. New characters that I know and love, or new characters that I get to learn about, but just thrown into the shit that they have to deal with these extraordinary circumstances now.
That's why I like Dead Rising. I know, what's the guy's name? Frank
Muir.
Thank you. I know it's like a slapstick-ass zombie game, but I like how he's a fucking photographer thrown into this massacre.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what worked so well with Dying Light. Was this guy came from another country and was thrown into the shit. He had no idea what he was going to be dealing with. So you feared for his life as well as fearing for your own fucking your own fear. So it worked well for Dying Light. It worked well for Last of Us. You know, it's just one of those things that I think they should reinvent themselves, not by using the same characters they've used, because we already know that their characters are battle ready. We already know that they can take it on. Mm-hmm. We need a new character that we don't know about, that looks like they're out of their element, surviving a zombie apocalypse.
I would like that, but just here's where I'm going back to the new character. Just say like you put Wesker in there and everything. Just say if like the guy was like a rookie in the Raccoon City Police. Just say you throw it in as a scenario. You go through all this shit like he's a rookie. He's not even an untrained rookie. Just gets thrown in. We'll say. So he goes in. He meets up with Wesker. Wesker's like, "You fucking Raccoon City pest! I can't get rid of you." I just love some stupid little line like that where he's like, "I can't get rid of you guys."
But you know, have that would be a great opening sequence, right? Where you have either a rookie or some person or somebody dealing with things, right? Come up against Wesker and then fully understand how out of their element they are.
I like that. Put him up against Wesker. You get your ass whooped. You get like thrown like the building blows up or something, and then basically you're in the mall or wherever tracking the next thing, and you're just like, what do I do?
Yeah, what am I dealing with here? Like just completely like a shit show. Like the beginning has to be a shit show to really let the player know like this guy has no fucking idea what he's up against. You have no idea what you're up against. We reinvented this. We completely renewed.
So you like my idea of dropping having a new character?
Yeah, I love that idea. I think that's a fucking fantastic idea.
Hire me, Capcom.
No, I like how like you bring in a guy who has no idea what the fuck he's up against. Yet even though if you are a seasoned Resident Evil veteran, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna have to deal with from this guy's point of view.
Yeah, because it's a new character. You know what I'm saying? And I would say you know err on the side of less is more. So you give this guy a fucking crowbar. You know, he has to make his way with the crowbar until he finds a gun that has 2 bullets in it. Yeah. You know, like real fucking strategy survival kind of things.
That's taken out of a page of Metal Gear. Because if you go in there and you play the original games, you start out with just your fist. You get a gun. You're like, oh, I got a gun. Fuck, there's no bullets.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's just a good concept that they could really utilize to make the game much more interesting, much more scary, much more strategic. Because the whole point of Resident Evil has always been strategy. I mean, the original, going back to your roots, has always been okay. I can't spend my bullets on this. I have to poison that plant. You know, I can't just fucking take down this snake beast. I have to trap it.
That's what I didn't like about Resident Evil 0, because it was a good game with the dual character formula. The problem was you had almost unlimited ammo. You were never out of ammo in that whole game, and I'm like, guys, I can just blow everything away. Oh wait, there's bullets. I'm running out. Oh, there's bullets there. Let me grab those. And you can just conserve your ammo versus like classic Resident Evil, where it's like you start the game with like 1 gun and you have 1 clip. That's it. And then you'll find ammo 2, 3, 4 levels down the road, and you're like, I could have used this 4 levels ago. Maybe I should learn how to ration my bullets.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments, what would you like to see? What do you want from the new Resident Evil 7 or the Resident Evil remake, total overhaul? They could just name it Resident Evil. I would not be surprised. Just boom, here it is, Resident Evil. Bare bones. But we said that we would be seeing something of Resident Evil 7 at E3. But Nick, where can the people watch E3?
The people can come to youtube.com/improvgaming. We're going to be featuring E3 live here. So what the format of the show will be, there'll be a little pre-E3 kind of thing or
Pre-thing.
pre-conference thing. So
saying what we want to see, what we were expecting to see, because of course E3 right before big things drop, so you would Dishonored, too. Obviously, we know Bethesda's gonna have it, but go more on that. What we want to see from it, have that, then see the conference.
You'll watch it live while we watch it live. And then right after the conference is done, we'll come back with our reactions, tell you what we liked, tell you what we didn't like, tell you what we loved, tell you what we hated.
Tell you that Nintendo was the runner-up.
Tell you that Bethesda may or may not have won last year's E3.
Yeah, he's coming around. Also, so check that all out, all E3 coverage coming up June 10th to the 12th? 12th to the 14th?
12th to the 14th?
Oh,
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. I believe it's the 12th to the 14th.
That sounds correct.
That sounds right.
Yes, because my vacation's the 5th, and I took a couple extra days for E3. Okay, anyway, thinking ahead. Also, remember, you can check us out every Sunday over on blogtalkradio.com/fillingthevoidrn at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where we do To a Console Near You live. It's also on YouTube here. You can watch that. You can call in with Blog Talk Radio. Also, if you don't catch it right away, you can always go over to iTunes and go over to the podcast and go into Filling the Void RN and download our episode of Coming Soon to a Console Near You, so you can listen while you go on your wonderful trip to work. I'm done talking. I think that's everything. Check out the Let's Play Spoilcast of Uncharted up last week. Still very good. If you finished it, by God, finish this game. We'll see everybody Wednesday for Nintendo characters done by the biggest Zelda fan in the world, Jeremy Bird. And as always,
Game on.
I gotta think of a wonder.
I need apples. I have one. I forgot it.
I need a thought.
I need a brand.